Ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it to the UEFA Champions League knockout round playoffs. And in this video, I'll be making my selections for each of the 8 matchups. And yes, I do know each team plays a home game before it is decided, but this time around, I'm going to try my best to pick the winner of each matchup in one go. And that does not mean I'm picking the score, I'm picking the winner of each game. I'm just saying straight up who the matchup winner is. But before we get started, if you like this video, please make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to the Zucc TV YouTube channel if you have not yet. And also ring the bell to be notified of when I post next, because I'll be doing one of these videos for each round of the UEFA Champions League. And now with that out of the way, let's make our selections. And I'm going to start out here with kind of the matchups that I believe are just kind of going to be clean sweeps or nothing that's going to be super interesting. And we're starting out with Bodo Glimt versus Inter. I think for a majority of people just looking at those names, I think you could already judge of where my pick is going to go here. You could definitely tell there's a different in style of football as well. But overall, just the absolute quality between Inter Milan and as well as Bodo Glimt, you can kind of tell where I'm going with this. It's going to be a very tough matchup for Bodo Glimt here. Inter's a very, very strong team. They definitely have a shot at going far in this tournament. They went to the final last year, but for this matchup, I'm just saying that they're going to beat Bodo Glimt pretty easily. I'm taking Inter over Bodo Glimt. Our next matchup is a little bit of a battle of the French league, Monaco versus PSG. I know they're in different countries, but they're in the same league, so that's why I'm saying this here. This is another one of the kind of those matchups where I think it's just going to be overpowered by PSG. Everyone knows the quality of Paris Saint-Germain. You know, it's just speaking about the final last year. They won it last year, so they're a very, very, very still good, solid team here. And going up against Monaco, maybe there's a little bit of fight in the Monegasque side, but overall, I just cannot see that really happening in my opinion. I think PSG is just kind of going to run away with it here. So that's why I'm taking PSG to advance to the round of 16. Next up on my list, we got Qarabag taking on Newcastle. Now, Qarabag has shocked a couple of teams in this tournament. So this one, I could definitely see Qarabag putting in a little bit of a fight. But just looking again at quality of side, it definitely looks like Newcastle should have this in the bag. Now, Newcastle has not had the season like they had last year. Obviously, in the Premier League, they wish that they could be back to that level, but obviously not. But they definitely got off on the easy side here with a team like Qarabag. They could have had a much worse matchup. So they should do it pretty easily, but I wouldn't be surprised if Qarabag puts a bit of a fight in. But overall, throughout the 2 games, I'm taking Newcastle to advance. Next up on my list, we have Club Brugge taking on Atletico Madrid. Now, I was surprised when I saw online a couple of people actually taking Club Brugge because Atletico Madrid's dip in form as of late. I don't really agree with that, to be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised by that. Again, this is another one of those matchups where I just believe it's going to be mostly one-sided. I think Club Brugge maybe could put up a much bigger fight than the other couple of matchups that I've already spoken about in this video, but I think Atletico Madrid, they're still just a very, very solid team, and they could catch fire here. They really could, and they have the quality to go pretty far in this tournament, much more than Club Brugge, in my opinion. So with that, I'm taking Atletico Madrid to advance, and I don't know why those people are taking Club Brugge in the first place. Now we get into the matchups here that maybe could go either way, but this first one between Benfica and Real Madrid, I kind of see it leaning more one-sided than not, but it's about the history. We go back to match day 8, where Benfica score off that set piece with their goalkeeper to win the match, but also get them in to these knockout playoffs. And funny enough, they are playing the team that they played against in that game, Real Madrid. So Real Madrid may be looking for just a teeny bit of revenge in that game, even though it didn't mean too much to them. But Benfica, I think they're probably coming into this series just saying, look, we have a shot here. We beat them before. Maybe it was a crazy ending, but we beat them, or we're able to play with Real Madrid. And obviously, as you look at, Real Madrid in the Champions League this season, they have not been their top form. I know, they're still very much a top team. They have a lot of talent on that roster, but they've not been the Real Madrid that we've seen in the past. And I kind of can see Benfica possibly looking at that and saying, we could take it to these guys. But overall, as I mentioned, it is still Real Madrid. They still have tons of quality. They still have tons of star power. As long as they can play as a team and not be individuals, like we've seen in the past, they definitely can do it against Benfica. And my selection here is kind of based off of really much the 2 games here. I think over 2 games, Real Madrid has a better chance at winning this, so that's why I picked Real Madrid to advance. Next up, we have Olympiacos. They are taking on Bayer Leverkusen, and this is a matchup here where I think it can go either way. But again, this kind of goes back to another matchup that we saw earlier in the Champions League. Olympiacos played Bayer Leverkusen, and Olympiacos beat them pretty easily. So heading into this matchup, it's kind of the same thing that Benfica had, saying we could take it to these guys, and I think we could beat these guys. That's probably what they're saying. Bayer Leverkusen, on the other hand, looking for revenge. Now, Bayer Leverkusen still going through that kind of processing phase after, losing a couple of players in the last couple of seasons, ever since they went on that invincible run in the Bundesliga. So it's kind of a tough watch for Bayer Leverkusen right now. And to be honest with you, I think Olympiacos is going to take this one because they have the experience of beating them and they know what to do. So that's why I'm taking Olympiacos to take down Bayer Leverkusen. Now we head into the matchups where I think it could be very, very interesting, and you might be shocked with my picks here, because our first matchup is Galatasaray versus Juventus. Now, I've always spoken kind of about Villarreal and how tough it is to play them. I think Galatasaray is also very much at that level. Going into Turkey, going into play at that stadium, it is very, very tough. And Galatasaray has some good veterans on their team to get the job done. Juventus has been a bit of a shocker this Champions League. I thought they were going to do much better than how they have done. They kind of just played a lot of, oddball games. I was expecting more from them, to be honest, and they have not showed out pretty much here. So I think for this matchup, I think Galatasaray and their veterans are going to get the job done, especially that home game in Galatasaray. I think that game is going to be a big eye-opener in this aggregate series. So overall, I think the veterans of Galatasaray and as well playing at home will help them out a lot here. I am taking Galatasaray to upset Juventus and move on. And now we're going to end off this video with maybe the closest matchup we have here out of the 8. It is Dortmund taking on Atalanta. Now, Atalanta was a top 8 team for the majority of the Champions League. Their form slipped a lot and they dropped down. The same can be kind of said about Borussia Dortmund. They had the same type of story. They were top 8 for the majority of the time, and in the last couple 2-3 match days, it went downhill. So both these teams are kind of like on the same form of Champions League here, and I'm really kind of interested to see how this one plays out, because I think both these teams are pretty good, and I think obviously, as they showed through the first couple of match days, they have the quality to do very well. But over the last couple of weeks and the last couple of match days, it hasn't been looking really pretty for them. So I'm kind of 50-50 on this matchup overall. So it was really hard for me to make a selection here, and to be honest with you, I kind of just brought it down to where will be the toughest place to play out of the 2 games. And in my opinion, it is the biggest soccer stadium in Germany, and that one is in Dortmund. And that's why I think Dortmund has the upper hand in this one. If they're able to play a very solid game at home at Signal Iduna Park, they're going to win this. And that's why I believe Dortmund will move on to the round of 16. Atalanta will head home. So there you have it, everyone. Those are my selections for the UEFA Champions League knockout round playoff. Let me know what you think down below, whether you liked my picks, whether you didn't. Also, if you want to leave your picks as well, put them down there too. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like. And if you have not yet, subscribe to the Zucc TV YouTube channel for more content just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the soccer coming up. Peace.